Welcome back to our very next episode of the Rot Marches. This is the Full Metal RPG Mork Borg West Marches style campaign. We've been playing it over on the Full Metal RPG Discord, and we've had a fair number of expeditions around the old Rot Marches, around the Alabaster City. So if that's something that you're interested in, hearing more about, we already have episode 1 available on both our podcast feed, our podcast RSS, and we also have a couple episodes up on YouTube. But today, we have episode 2, and we have a very special guest. We have Mike from Darker Days Radio. Mike, welcome to the show, man.
Happy to be back here on Full Metal RPG. Really excited to play a little bit of Mork Borg and get some kind of black metal, death metal going.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, we're super stoked to have you. Darker Days Radio is one of my personal favorite podcasts of all time, and it's just always a treat to be able to have you on, to be able to have Chris on, and to just always, I don't know, man. We go back a ways, and we love and respect you guys. Love and respect. And then we have a brand new GM this time. It's not always going to be Brendan in the GM seat. You're not always going to hear my recycled stories. Today's recycled stories come from Rob. What's up, man? How you doing? That was a joke, the whole recycled thing. I don't know. This is all going to be new content.
It's good. I enjoyed it. It was good. Fresh content. Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm ready to take you into my little corner of the Rock Marches. It's awesome. Grey. It's wet. It's dank. It's very inspired by folklore Britain.
Great.
So I hope you're ready.
Killer. And if you are into the stylings of Rob, you can catch our Warhammer. It's not really Warhammer, but it's our Games Workshop-oriented show, Realm of Fire, that is currently also found on the Full Metal RPG feed, but that once fucking Apple gets its shit together, will have its own actual feed, ladies and gentlemen.
Apple?
Of course we have...
Nice.
Of course we have Richie motherfucking Buzzkill holding it down. Jobs. On the ones and twos. What's up, playa?
Gotta bring that mic back in style, like I been a while. So yeah.
Nice. All right, great. Well, Rob, it's your show now, bro. Yeah. You're the GM. Take it away.
I know. Terrifying. So, as you know, Brendan, Richie, and Mike, you are in the Rock Marches, an area of the Mork Borg world, a little bit away from the main storyline. And this is a prison colony, sort of separated from the traditional Mork Borg world, and you are all there for various crimes and disgusting things that you may or may not have done. You don't need to tell me. I don't care if you're innocent or guilty. You die either way. It won't save you.
Nice.
What?
To make it...
That's not what I signed up for.
To make Mork... To make it Mork Borgy, the first thing we need to do, however, is roll on the calendar of Necrobell, I think is how you say it. Yes. That's how I say it. Which is the Doom track. For those who aren't aware of Mork Borg, there is, no matter what your campaign is, there is a Doom track going on, and 7 awful events will happen, and after that 7th event, the world ends. Doesn't matter what you've done, it doesn't matter if you've got a castle or you're the king, you die. Something bad happens. And I believe we roll a d20 for this one. So I'm going to roll it now. Mork Borg, very hands-off for the GM, so you don't get to roll many times. So here, I'm going to roll on this. And I've scored a 20. So, in fact, it's the complete opposite. On a 1, the event happens. No event. Everything is just wet and grey and damp.
Nothing have it on the different.
20. Have it on the 1.
Yeah, it happens on the 1.
Result of 1 activates 1 misery.
I mean, I feel like it could be 1 or 20. It's Mork Borg. It should always be. It should be the either extreme. I could see that, but
it should be 13. Should we roll a d20 on a 13? It happens, but, or a 7 actually.
A 7 would be appropriate.
7, yeah. And that's made it Mork Borgy. We're now in the Mork Borg world. Now take to the Rock Marches world. Each of our disgusting scum and villainy belong to a house. Not in a good way, not in a cool, I belong to this house, in a they literally own me because this is a terrible, terrible world and I have done some crime and I owe my debt to... It's like, having a privatised jail system, basically. So there is a chance that you are owned buy a house, but that might change. There's a bargain in prisoners. There's a bargain in these poor, rotten bastards. So what I'm going to do is pick one of you to be in the hot seat. And I'm going to pick Mike, because Mike is the special guest.
Of course. Special treatment for special guests.
Special treat, absolutely. So what house do you currently belong to, Mike? I will get you to introduce your characters momentarily, but what house do you currently belong to, if you are aware?
Are there specific ones in the book that I'm supposed to be naming, or do you just want me to create one?
Oh, you know what? That was in the Rot Marches campaign guide. That's on our.
Let's do it now.
Yeah, let's just roll.
Let's do this now. This is Isaac. Okay, so Mike, let's find out why you have been deported to this horrendous prison colony. Could you roll me a D8, please?
All right, roger that. I got a 3.
You are a devotee of a heretical cult. So have a little think about that. It doesn't really matter if you don't survive. So you can keep that in your back pocket. And then could you roll me a D4, please? Let's find out what your debt is. Well, your sentence. Apologies.
3.
Could you roll me a D3, please?
3. A lot of threes here.
You'll have paid off your sentence once you have lost 3 limbs in service to the church. So when you're Hopalong Cassidy at the end, then you'll be free to go back to the normal world of Morkborg.
The normal shitty world of Morkborg.
The normal shitty world. And now let's find out which house owns your debt. Could you roll me a D6 as well, please?
A 1.
House Proctor.
Oh, how nice. I'm also in
Can
House
you hear
Proctor.
me? My camera's having a moment, so can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool, okay. My camera's having a moment, so I'll just keep going. House Proctor are ethereal addicts, and they mark you by putting a brand upon your forearm. That's what shows you belong to House Proctor. I'm sorry about this. My webcam has been very silly recently, so what I might do is switch to the inbuilt one and see if that helps. Apologies, as always. All right, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, looking
Yes,
good.
excellent. Cool. At some point, it'll probably cut out again. I apologise. I will get this sorted. It was all fine, and then I dropped the webcam. Fantastic. So, Mike, you currently belong to House Proctor. However, there is a chance that you've actually been bartered, and that brand may be on you for mere moments. Could you roll me D6, please? And on a 1, another house has bought and sold you in your very short existence.
I got a 5.
You're okay. You still belong to House Proctor.
Okay.
So as soon as you've lost 3 limbs, you can say, hey, I'm free to go now, right? And they'll be like, okay. And then you don't gangrene. So, the 3 of you have been, I'm going to go in media res here, you have been dragged out of your dwelling. You live in a place called Dog Ass in Alabaster City, crappy little hovel, shit on the streets, mud, rain, bad Cockney accents, shouting door to door, and you've been dragged out on a mission for your houses because there's a problem. There's a problem in the surrounding area of Alabaster City. Boggarts are on the rise. Now, Boggarts are a nasty little race of runty creatures. Picture the goblins from The Hobbit. That kind of more emaciated, albino skinned, though it's a bit more grey, lanky haired, and they're just a nuisance. Boggarts are a problem. We've all got a problem with Boggarts. You go to the doctor usually, but in Morkborg you can't. On their own? Okay, fine. And they might attack the odd traveller. That's part of the course. But there's been more and more attacks of them, and they've been sort of raiding little hamlets, little settlements. So the houses have sort of said, well, we'll just sort this out, and sent you free. They do explain that there was an expedition about a week ago, and they claimed to have sealed the Boggart hole, but only 2 came back and one of them was naked. So you don't know really. You've got to go check out what's going on. And so you find yourself in the area called Reginor. which is south of Alabaster City. There are the Sundering Wastes, which are the sort of wastes where the war that took over this land before it became a prison colony took place, burnt out hamlets, rotten stones, remains of towers, which are now basically a couple of blocks on top of each other. And the area you're going to is the very edge of that. And it's a dank place. It is cold, it is wet, it has 2 seasons, it has grey and it has warm grey, and it's currently grey. The wind whips at you almost horizontally. It feels like it's on the coast, but no one's properly mapped it out yet. Some people say it might be an archipelago. Some people say it might be a peninsula. No one's sure. All you know is you are soaking wet. You've been traveling for 3 days from Alabaster City. You are kind of suspect you're developing trench rot. You cannot get warm. You cannot get dry. And you have found yourself on a moorland, and the moorland is these low hills. Imagine like sand dunes, covered in brambles and thickets, and really tough to get briar. Really tough to get through stuff. It's not an easy traipse across the moorland, but you found yourself on a moor in the ruin of one of these old towers, and by ruin I mean literally it is probably 1 story high, circular tower, 1 story high, with a little bit of roof for one of you to get under there for shelter. Who's grabbing it?
I'm small.
I guess you probably got in before me.
Yeah. So Rich has got into, I'll get your character names in a second, has got into the thing. One of you needs to start a fire, and the fire will keep, but it's spitting because basically the rain is ever present. It is just hanging in the air. You're wet, you're damp, it's dark. However, you are at your destination. You're on a moor with this tower that you're on. Then there is a fast-flowing river, really fast-flowing river with the remains of a bridge that looks repairable, but that's a task for the morning. And then the other side is the Boggart hole, which is where you're headed. This is, imagine like, the arches of Stonehenge. There's one of them. And then 2 dolmens, which are very tall, carved stone rocks either side. And that's where traditionally the Boggarts would have come from. However, it looks like it's sort of collapsed in a bit from what you can see, but of course it's quite difficult to see. The only thing lighting it up is an occasional flash of lightning. So you can't quite tell, but on the other side it looks like it might have collapsed in a bit, so you might need to do a bit of digging to get through down to the hole. But that's for tomorrow. This night, the 3 of you talk and cook whatever rations you have, and maybe go for a piss in the bushes around the fire. Who are you, please? And let's start with Mike.
Absolutely. So tonight I'll be playing as Merkari, who, in a different land, once claims that he was a king, but now he's only got his black throne, and that is his combat wheelchair that he rolls around in, which is just like totally like black pig iron kind of chair with really thick treaded wheels, so it doesn't really cause any mobility issues. And in the back of it is a flaming furnace. That's kind of what he's got rolling around in, and he just looks like a pretty grizzled, hardened dude. Really, really diesel upper body strength, but his legs are withered with a yellow mold that's slowly decaying them.
Oh, dang.
Oh, that's gross. Is your wheelchair anything to do with your heretical beliefs?
I would say probably
no.
not. Probably
No,
not.
cool.
Yeah, I think something with the Old Kingdom had to do with the heresy.
And what's your character's name again?
Merkari. I also put that in
Merkari.
the Rot March's Discord channel, so you guys can see that.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. Okay. Fantastic. Right. Richie.
You see a very short man whose kind of gross, stringy, long hair kind of comes over his shoulders. You can see a sword over his back that would look like a normal sword on any other person, but it looks like a 2-handed sword to him. He's so short. he's constantly coughing and hacking. His hands are covered in sores, and he's got a little more swagger than maybe the last time we saw him, as he's feeling like he has come up in the world a little bit. Though being frog marched into the middle of a terrible wasteland is, somewhat typical now. But he's looking forward to maybe getting back to his bar. He after the last adventure we saw him in, he used his wealth to bribe everyone so he could have a bar in Dog's Ass, to try and gather more information so he could maybe gain more wealth. But of course, that's got its ups and downs. But it's called the Liar's Table. So
that's excellent. I like that a lot. What's his name? Sorry,
Gotven. Same
Gotven.
character as last episode.
Yeah,
He has survived a couple other adventures in the meantime.
that's impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And Brendan.
All right. My character is called Eldar, and he is like, hey man, it came up on.
It was randomly rolled.
Generator.
It was totally randomly rolled.
Okay, Scumburther made this.
I believe it.
I actually rolled the character for him because I was like
Right here.
rolling characters. I was like, oh,
Scumburger.
here's Brendan's character.
It's gonna work out Eldar's death scene. Yeah, go for it.
So he's got kind of he looks kind of strange. His body is very round, like a potato, and then he has these long, spindly arms that come off of his potato body, and very long, spindly legs that come off of it. And he wraps his hands in leather straps, and he wraps his feet in leather puttees, and he carries a backpack on his back, and his head is kind of like he's almost kind of hunchbacked, where his head just sort of sticks out of his potato body, and he has a classic bowl cut. His eyes are kind of like always pink ringed, and maybe kind of like a little bit yellow and wild. And he has like his skin texture is really, really bad, very almost kind of like wormy in its pallor. His eyes dart about constantly, looking at the shadows, and he always stands in kind of like a weirdly sort of like avian kind of like crouch, like he's almost like a strange flamingo that feels kind of awkward as he walks around. And though he considers himself to be incredibly dexterous and like a cat burglar par excellence, he is not. But he still puts himself into positions to do stuff like this. So yeah, he's definitely not. So yeah, that's what he looks like.
Excellent. He that description called to me in The King in Yellow. There's a graveyard watcher who that's what he sounds like. This kind of little
really?
Yeah, kind of hunched over guy is described as looking quite worm-like, and that's what put in my head. Annoying. The King in Yellow will not.
I love worm flesh. Worm flesh is cool as fuck.
Okay, so let's get some dice rolling. Anyway, this is an RPG. We've done role playing. Let's do the game. So I want you to all make me a really hard, so 16 or more presence check, please.
Yeah.
So roll your d20, apply your presence modifier. You want to get 16 or more.
Just
is
so you
good,
know,
20 is bad.
I am a gutter-born scum, and I am stealthy, and so all of my presence checks are reduced by 2. So mine will be a 14.
14.
I am as well, but no matter my actual, I only got an 8. So like
Exactly.
with all
I rolled a
of the
6,
modifiers,
so.
I got an 8. So no.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah. Huzzah.
And Merkari.
I got a 16 on the dot.
Cool. And you've got no modifiers for presence?
I got nothing.
Fantastic. So the two gutter-born scum who are used to watching over their backs, they've lived a life where they could get a short shiv in them at any point. They've been walking the last couple of days completely oblivious to anything. Blah, blah, blah. Chat. Merkari, however, you have figured there's something following you. You've seen figures in the mist grey humanoids, you'd say, but never quite substantial. They were there, and every time it's the corner of the eye problem. You saw them, you looked, they were gone. They've never come close. Always on the next hill. Always on the next hill. Always in the next valley. But they've been there. You are pretty damn sure of it. Gotven and Eldar, you have seen no such thing. However, I'm going to have another presence check off you. And for this case, just roll d20, add your presence, and I want to know who scores highest, because you're the person who's gone for a piss in the bushes next to the fire.
Who is?
The person who rolls highest.
Oh.
I got a 15.
I rolled a 2.
Great. Okay.
Shit, guys.
I'm sorry, man. It's these Justin Soroy's TM dice. They boned me during Esoteric Enterprises all day yesterday, so...
Yeah, I rolled both of these particular dice from someone else, and I'm like, you know what? Those are going off to the side. They've done well.
Yeah, no shit.
So Gotven, I would say, well, what we said was that you got to the tower, you're the first to sneak into the one bit of shelter. You got just under the little bit of floorboards that exist still, and you found the one bit that isn't being rained on. Eldar, you've realised you're going to have to start a fire, so you're tending at a fire. It's there, it's on. It's on. I don't know how it's lit. That's what I should say. Not it's on. But the rain means it's spit and it's smoked. It's not pleasant, but you're kind of warm. Merkari. I'm going to call you Merkari the whole time, and I'm picturing
whatever
a
you
little
want.
goblin with a massive banner.
It's all good.
Like Gazgul's mate. That's all I can picture. So, Merkari, you have gone off to relieve yourself. Call of nature.
Yeah.
As you are, there's something in front of you, probably about 20 yards. Something's watching you, and now this isn't one of those grey figures you saw. This is two massive reflecting black eyes. It never gets pitch black here. It always just goes darker grey. It's either light grey when it's day or dark grey when it's night. But these are two orbs of darkness that are staring at you, and they're reflecting. You can tell they look wet. And there is a slit just below them, which we assume is a mouth, quite a way under. And a small sort of steam is coming out of it. And it's just there, looking at you. Not moving, just looking at you. What do you do?
Shit. Fuck, I don't have anything. I really got to piss. God. Okay.
Sorry, before you do that, could you make a toughness check for me, please?
Oh gosh. I'm a little tough, but I'm being. Does this have to? What does this roll have to do with?
Brutal.
Just roll it. Just roll it. Just roll it.
Borg.
Because if it has to do with me, I got a 5. I got a 5.
You cannot go. You cannot go. You really need to, but you cannot go. Not while someone's watching you like this. Like you are stuck. You are, and okay. Now you're there, so you can't.
I'm a little
pit away.
Okay, it happens. It happens. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to deal with this. Merkari's just gonna start rolling his wheelchair back slowly, real slowly.
As you do, it's keeping the same distance, but it is moving. You realize as it comes towards you, it's sort of bobbing. The two orbs and the slit sort of bobbing towards you, almost like it's shadowing you.
Yeah.
Keep rolling
Eldar,
back. Cool. Eldar, Gotven, you see, yeah. Go.
Eldar.
What?
There's something in the mist.
Of course there is.
Yeah, we'll fucking look over there.
Okay, I look.
I pick up.
I'm annoyed. I look annoyedly, but I look.
I pick up a branch out of the fire and just kind of wing it in that direction to see if I can light up the situation.
Yeah, do me an agility check.
All right,
please.
Good times. Good times.
This is easy. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, that would require. And this die is terrible, but I got an 8.
Perfect. Yeah, you send the branch towards this thing, and as it gets near it, it lights up what this creature is, and it is a creature. It is picture a wolf, a rather large wolf, so a more fantastical wolf than you have in at the zoo. But instead of a wolf face, it's got a very Mystian monkey-like face, big monkey face, and kind of almost up on two legs at the rear, and its front legs actually have almost monkey paws. So it's the size of a wolf, and it's and as that fire comes over, it sort of snarls and bares its teeth and pounces towards you. So we're going to go into the first combat.
Ah, God bless me. All right.
Now, initiative, I'm just going to use the base system. I'm sorry, guys, I can't be bothered with agilities and plus. I'm going to use the 1 to 3 you go, 4, 5, 6 they go. Unless you are particularly...
So are we rolling for
like
group,
that.
though? Group initiative? Or are we doing...
Yeah. Just player characters go forward or the enemies go first because I drop rules like that. But one of you can roll it. One of you
All right, here, I got it. I got it, guys. Boom, 2. Boom.
2. So he pounces. This thing pounces at you. And I'm going to say it pounces at Gotven. Sorry, Gotven, but you're the closest. And you made it. You made a noise.
Okay.
Okay, so it literally bounds on its back feet and imagine a screaming monkey just coming at you, claws going. Could you make a defense check, which for those at home is an agility roll? You roll d20, apply your agility modifiers. You're usually looking for a 12 or more.
14.
That can change depending on the enemy.
14.
14. I said Gotven. I meant Finger, but that's fine. It's Gotven. Fantastic. You threw the branch. That makes sense.
It was most threatening. I got you.
Yeah. The last second. Well, you avoid it. How do you avoid him?
So like I basically kind of like I'm right by the fire, so I kind of jump backwards over the fire and it kind of lands next to it where I was standing.
Cool. Yeah, it landed. Great. Yeah. So it timed its pounce, assuming you wouldn't move. It probably hunts less agile prey than you. Lands and just screams at you in that full-on monkey, like the lips peel back and it's got a full. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, almost like the alien. Okay, it's you, Free.
All right. Well, I am. So it's this thing seems like definitely like some kind of animal thing. It doesn't seem like it's intelligent at all, right?
Yeah, way more. If it's an animal, it looks like kind of wolf level of. It has intelligence because it's an animal, but it's not. It's not carrying gold points or stuff. Yeah.
All right. So and does it? You said it's like a large wolf. Like how is it? But it stood on its hind legs. Is it as tall as a human?
So when it pulls right up, it's actually probably taller than a human, but it seems to go on its fours and just occasionally pull up, basically.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay,
if
great.
It was to stand, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna attack it with my staff. I have a staff.
All the coolest people do.
Right.
Still straight D12, DR12 strength.
I miss.
Cool. You're like, I think you missed because you're like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this?
I'm very tentative. Like I only have this dumb staff, and I'm kind of poking at him, like I might be trying to use the staff to keep him away, but I'm also kind of like hitting, but my heart's not in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Merkari and Gotven, what are you doing?
Merkari breaks out his warhammer and I guess he's gonna roll forward, try to whack this thing, but I think I deserve a penalty because I'm a little uncomfortable right now. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Okay. Sure, you're still exposed to the world. So penalty-wise, I could either make difficulty harder, or I could introduce disadvantage and just do 2. But I'm going to make it a little bit harder. So you're going to need a 14. So D20, apply your strength modifier, 14 more. 20 is good.
All right. No, I got a nothing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, your uncomfortable situation means this screaming. It's disconcerting. This thing is awful. It's just screaming and yelling. Gotven, it's down to you.
I'm gonna use my Goblobber, which is a special ability that the Gutterborn Scum has that I have yet to get to
Okay.
use, and I'm just basically you can just hear this like, I'm not gonna do it on mic,
Oh
but
my God.
and just like
Yeah.
spit at this thing and see if I can hit it. Now, witnesses have to make a DR10 or start vomiting. So, but it's only it's a DR8 test for me to hit this thing. So it's way easier for me to hit it.
Hey, this isn't called Goblobber. This is called Abominable Goblobber.
Abominable Goblobber. Yes, sorry.
Goblobber.
I can't do quite the
actually-
justice you can with your English accent. So it's
Yeah. Abominable Goblobber, I think, was actually a Mayhem EP. Right, okay.
Yes.
As a person who's very accustomed to the gutter-born streets, I've seen gobs lobbed like this before, and I completely don't care.
Okay.
so
Merkari has not seen anything like this before.
All right.
He is
Gobs
second.
being lobbed.
You are thinking to your own lap, which just makes things even more uncomfortable.
So it like the abdominal goblob hits it in the face. It blinds it for 2 rounds, and it starts retching and vomiting.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, and that's literally, you just hear that, the distressed, like, monkey noise where it's like, and it's trying to rip this stuff off itself. Gotven, Merkari, could you make me a presence check, please?
Sure.
Yeah.
7.
Okay, cool. Everything's fine. Right, okay, it's round 1 of 2 rounds where it's scratching at this phlegm in it. What do you guys want to do? And so you say it is blinded, wretched vomiting. I assume blinded means it's going to be easier to hit it, so I'll give you an advantage to hitting it.
All right.
Right, yeah, it's back to you, Free. So its round was literally trying to scratch its own eyes out.
Okay, well, sort of heartened by what's going on with Gotven over here, seeing that this is like a street fight, I'm running up. I'm gonna put my fucking wrist into it this time. Boom! No, I don't.
Well, you got advantage even
As
with,
you,
even with
oh yeah,
advantage?
yeah. So what did you roll?
I had advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Advantage, yeah.
Oh, hey, I hit on a 13.
Nice. I like that advantage isn't in the rules at all, but everyone's just accepted that advantage is just
Oh,
a thing now.
yeah.
Like, it makes
It's
so
an
much
easy-
sense. Like, it's a genuinely great rule.
Translate.
Right, roll your damage for me, please.
All right. I mean that is basically the brilliance of 4th or 5th edition, right? Which is basically like, would you like a reroll? You know?
Yeah.
5th edition in one sentence. Would you like a reroll with that? God damn it! Where's all my D4s? Spent them all yesterday, fucking trying to kill PCs and having it not work.
You can roll a D8. That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll. That's what I'm going for. So I got a 3.
Nice. Yeah, you crack it on the side of the head. Smash! Load of blood comes out of its side, but it's still going. It's still shrieking, and I mean, it's not having a good time, but it's going. Eldar and Gotven. No, you're Eldar. Gotven and Merkari, please.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Merkari will go.
I will.
Well, he has to wipes off his mouth a little bit, the back of his cuff, and with the other hand just breaks out the warhammer and smashes down. Assuming I have
You've got
advantage on this,
advantage. You do
All right.
advantage on this, yeah.
I get an 18.
Nice. Roll damage, please.
Sure. My warhammer says it's 1d6, and I got a 2.
Oh, so you slam down, and it is going to be a headshot. Like, it's coming down, and at the last second, it sort of screeches, and you crush one of its front paws instead. So you like properly slam it into the ground, and it goes into the wet mud, and it crushes its paw under. So it's in a shitty way now. Gotven.
All right. Let's see here. And that is a 22, actually.
Nice. Nice. So if natural 20s, double the damage. So roll me with your damage and double it, please.
All right. That would be 8 points of damage with my sword. So I come swinging in and just kind of like bring the sword across his neck. And
yeah, it had 1 point left. So yeah, you absolutely just take it out.
Just lop its head
it is
off.
Exploded. Excellent. And as you lop its head off, the momentum sends the head spinning away from the fire, and in front of you, you realise that around the fire, there's about 6 more pairs of eyes, all watching you. Same sort of black eyes.
Okay.
Eldar? And then they slowly wink out. One by one, the pairs of eyes sort of back off into the mist. And you don't see again for the evening.
Is the meat of this strange animal edible?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what this thing is, but I roast it up. I roasted the fuck up.
Yeah.
I have some flank steaks of whatever this thing was.
It reminds you of dog. Reminds you of dog meat.
That's
good.
Really
so
traumatizing. That's deeply traumatizing.
On that, and I apologise, I should have brought this up earlier. We are playing online. We're playing an online public game, and I'm playing with people who I've actually never role played with before. So I should have said at the very beginning, and I apologise I didn't, that safety tools are in play. There's 2 of them. There's the X card. The X card is in play. Anything you don't like, message me an X. You can do the physical if you want, but also I know that sometimes you don't want to do that. Bringing attention to yourself is what people don't like to do. So send me a message, and we'll skip over it. The other is lines and veils, certain things we don't want in the game. This is a macabre game of slaughter and gutter scum spitting at people and people throwing up into their own lap. But it doesn't have to be deeply, deeply unpleasant. So there are certain things that are off the table. Violence against children or minors, any sexual violence, absolutely not. Normally violence against animals in a very macabre way, if that makes sense. I'm not having animal torture in my game. You can, if a wolf attacks you, you can kill the wolf that's attacking you, like this. But that's for me. If you have any others that you want to bring up, private or publicly, let me know. Send me a message. I don't think there should be anything in terms of the only content warnings I would give is bad language, because I swear like a fucking sailor, violence, and murder. I think that's it.
Cool.
And I hope I'm allowed to swear on Full Metal RPG, otherwise we're in trouble. Sorry, Twitch. Okay. And you are undisturbed for the rest of the night. I'm not going to ask you to set a watch and do all that boring stuff. I'm just going to say that you eat nicely off of the body of this creature. It's quite stringy. As I say, it reminds you of various dogs that you've eaten over the years. If it had eaten better, you feel like it would have tasted better, but it probably hasn't eaten very well for some time.
Fair.
But it's fine. It keeps you subsist. It means you don't have to spend any rations. Gets you through the night, and you all sleep kind of soundly, except could you all make really hard presence checks? Please. 16s. Or 14 if you're...
I make it this time. Deal with me.
Nothing.
Boom.
1.
I'm all about making them presence checks.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's technically a 3, but yes. 1.
You can't really critically fail this, so I'm not going to be like... Yeah, I'm not going to critically fail around. You turn sharply into a tree. No, Brendan, Eldar, you see these grey figures that you think Merkari's been muttering for the last few days as you travel. And see there are figures there, and while you're stopped, they seem to have stopped. They seem to be watching you. So, but they're not coming any closer, and eventually you're staring, and your vision goes a bit funny because you're staring in the dark for too long, and you drift off to sleep. And
I think I kind of think
dawns.
that
you think it's morning. It's a little,
I thought that Merkari was kind of maybe losing it a little bit, and so now I'm starting to feel like maybe I'm losing it a little bit because I didn't buy any of this gray figures stuff. That doesn't sound like a thing.
Yes, weird.
Yeah,
weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe she's just been out on the moors for too long. More fever, I think it's called.
Too long.
So, you sleep through, and you wake the next morning. As you think it's morning, it's a bit lighter grey than the dark grey. The rain has now turned to sleet. And ahead of you are the Boggarts stones. You can see them a bit better now. And yes, definitely what looks like happened is the hill that they were on has collapsed in on itself, whether through natural erosion or through something else, you're not quite sure. But it looks like that's where you need to go. And what you think you can see is what looks like a hand sticking out of the collapsed area. But before that, there is the matter of a raging river and a bridge. And the bridge is mostly there, but you might have to do a bit of work to get it. And there
How
does appear to be a
so?
body stuck in between some of the rock. It's obviously a bridge that gets built occasionally, and it gets knocked down occasionally, and then rebuilt. So the debris is all around it. It looks like you could, move some of the stones and put some of the lumber and the timbers around to get it. It looks like someone tried recently because there is a body that's sort of trapped between two of the posts that's just sort of like flapping in the water. But with a little bit of time. Well,
How decayed is the body?
it's not looking great. It's got very strange clothes on, clothes you don't recognise. The bottom half is a pair of trousers that are of a very finely woven, very thick bluish material, but that kind of started to degrade and the water wash out. And its top half is kind of wearing like a tunic but cut off, and it is what was bright red that again has also faded. The head is remarkably less decayed than the hand. The hands and the arms look almost skeletal, like zombie skeleton. The head is a lot less decayed than the rest of it.
Weird. All right. So how far across is the river?
Say, do you guys use metric or imperial?
Just throw a number out. I use both.
Let's say 10 meters. That's massive. That's massive. No, 10 meters is good. 10 meters is good.
Yeah.
30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whichever one you would say, I was going to say the other one. So
Right. Yeah, it's fine.
So I went to ask where something is. It's 100 yards away. No one knows what that means, but that's what it is. It's 100 yards
Well,
away.
it's 100 meters. In gaming terms, it's no difference. Anyway, all right. Shall we go to work?
Yeah. I don't know what to do. What do you want to do?
Well, yes, go.
I mean, listen, I'm going to need a bridge to get across. I mean, that's the safest thing. I can strap this thing to my back and try to swim across the river. I got a rope, use that as an anchor or something, but a bridge would be a lot nicer.
I suspect that when you say that this is a river, this is a real river, not a Phoenix River, where you can't see the bottom and stuff like that. Like it's full of water that is moving briskly.
Yeah. It's
Right.
deep. It's a cut. It's really a crick.
Right.
A crick.
But
That's what it is.
there's no
It's
way that
going
we
fast.
could walk across it. We would have to take the
You could
bridge.
try, but you would be doing a couple of strength checks, and failure would be bad.
All right. Well, so, and you say that there's this bridge that looks like sometimes people work on it.
Yeah, like it's been built up, and then something's happened. Maybe the river got too full, and smashed it to pieces. You can put it back together. I'm saying the materials are there to build the bridge. It's not like you're gonna have to scavenge. They're just all.
We'll just get started
smashed
building
around.
this bridge. Then
Yeah.
sounds like it's bridge building time.
I guess
Cool.
so.
Bridge o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most terrifying thing. Admin work. Who's going to take the lead? Because it'll be a presence check.
Oh, well,
for the
that's
person who's
it's going to be the king. King's going to do that. King's taking charge.
Yeah.
Listen,
presence check.
all right, Gotven, you're going to be your engineer. Eldar, you're going to be the architect. Okay.
All right.
Get to work.
All right.
Sounds great. Let me get right on that.
Yeah. So you said there was
Right,
enough
so I want-
material left there to, or do we have to gather material?
Yeah. There's enough here. The only thing is, one is probably going to have to get a bit lower into the river to try and recover some of the lumber that's fallen in. Like, it's not going to be 100% safe. One of you is going to have to get down there. And you might want to check out his body as well.
Right. Yeah. So I go down.
I'm going to loot the corpse. That's what I'm going to do. I begin by
Okay.
looting the corpse. What check do I have to make?
Well, the first thing you have to do is make an agility check to see if you can get to the corpse without falling in the river.
That sounds super easy. What's the difficulty on that? Well,
I'm going to give you a 10. I'll give you a 10.
Ooh,
I'll be
all right,
nice.
great.
Yeah.
Well, that means I have to roll 12,
Okay.
which I do not. I do not roll 12.
Okay. So you're reaching out, and it's like, Last Crusade, you've got the fingertips, and suddenly you put your foot on the wrong bit of moss, and Gotven and Merkari, you hear a and then a sort of little splash, and I'm going to get this right one day. Eldar's got himself stuck between two of the rocks, and it's just like shit, and water's just blowing in your face.
I go down to the bank. I hand one end of the rope to Merkari. Hold on to this, and I basically kind of wrap it around myself, and then I'm going to go wade out and grab him to try and stabilize him, and maybe then we can help loot the corpse, because that's the most important thing in Borg is to loot more corpses.
Absolutely.
So
loot the corpse.
What do you need?
I want a strength check from you then.
All right.
Gotven, but I'm going to give you advantage because you have been sensible to secure yourself. Right. Yeah, it is.
That would be a 20. It's 18 plus 2.
Amazing. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, you're able to not only help Eldar out, but you get yourselves in a position that you're able to pull down the body, basically. And this thing just falls to pieces as you pull it out from where it's been sort of stuck between the posts of the bridge. But there is some things in its pocket. So let's find a handy little table. All right, let's get. I'm going to pulling from Ferritory. Could you roll me a D100, please, Gotven?
All right. There's a die and a die. That would be a 93.
Okay, so you find what looks like what was a map on a piece of vellum, so a bit of goat skin that's been treated. So thankfully it was on vellum, because otherwise it would have degraded in the water. It's pretty faint now. A lot of the ink has run, but it looks like about half of a map. And handily, there's a big red X marked on it in red ink. So who knows what that's going to lead to. But you find that sort of tucked. Tucked in the back of his trousers.
We heard that there were people that had come here previously and that said that they had handled everything, but we're not so sure about that.
It looks like they just collapsed the stones, and they didn't actually deal with the situation.
So, do we think that this map has something to do with the previous expedition, or do we think that the map is to somewhere else?
Is it close by or far away? Can we tell?
Yeah. You can't even recognize it.
All right.
There are names on this map that you do not recognize.
Okay.
Oh.
It could be somewhere else in the Rot Marches.
That is very
Or even
spicy.
elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds
I say, give it to me. I was going to get it.
How about we plan to go that expedition, both of us?
Okay.
All right.
But don't
Wait, you
But no, I will hand you the map.
Okay. Very nice.
right.
Maybe it's a trap.
Yeah. This is very suspicious
So,
behavior.
so from this position, though, the pair of you are going to be able to collect up the stones and the lumber that you need to rebuild this bridge. It'll take a bit of time, but you're probably in a good position to do that now.
All right. Said about it.
Cool. Merkari, roll me a d6, please.
And do. Oh, 1.
Good work. 1 hour later, you have managed to fashion a... that was a good one.
All right.
Through getting the stones and the wooded place, you managed to fashion a basically almost like literally got a plank, resting on top of a wooden post in the river and rock. But the three of you were able to get across.
Great.
And
good.
you make it, and you are now stood at the entrance. Eldar, you are soaked. You were wet already, and then you went into the river. So you are very wet now. But you're on the other side of the bank. You're unhappy. And ahead of you is, as I say, imagine a hill that sort of collapsed in on itself. There is, from this position that you weren't able to see before, almost looks like a giant rabbit hole that's been dug in to the side of it. And next to that, sort of about 10 yards away from that, there is what looks like another hole that collapsed in, and from that there is a hand sticking out, kind of like that from the soil. And it looks like the flesh of the hand's been like pecked away by birds or various wildlife. So it's kind of like flesh up to about there, and then it's all like ripped basically because the rest of it's all been picked clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's like a borehole, and there's this other hole that's now collapsed in.
Hey, so before, I guess once we just got across, actually maybe while we're doing construction, Merkari will offer to Eldar for 1 silver piece. 1 silver piece. I'll let you dry your cloak off on the furnace of my chair.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Hey, yeah.
That's a good deal right
where else
now.
you gonna be able to find that here in the Rot Marches? Nowhere.
I'm gonna say, deal, King Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mark my silver down.
All right, I'll get it. Add silver. Sucker.
My cloak is now very dry.
Yeah.
Not that you can tell.
You know when you dry a wool jumper, but you haven't quite pull over, but you haven't quite dried it, so it's got that damp sort of wool smell. That's what you've got.
I could not be convinced, if you tried, that this is not the driest this cloak has ever been. Is all I'm saying.
What do you do?
All right, let's.
Okay.
So there's 2 holes. There's the hand hole, and then there's another hole.
Yeah,
All right,
the other hole is a full-on dug-through hole now. The hand hole looks like it was a hole that has now collapsed in.
Dug through hole. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dug up hole? Was it dug from down up out?
Do you want to do a presence check for me, please?
Sure. Yeah.
10. DR10.
I can't tell, everybody. I can't tell.
It's a good hole. That's some good hole.
Let's. Gotven starts walking over towards the collapsed hole. He wants to look at this hand as whether it's a human hand or not.
Yeah, very much so. You have seen torn off hands 1,000 times. This is a hand, a human hand sticking out of the mud.
And I'm reminded of and his weird sword. Rest in pieces, Start looking at this collapsed hole. It's totally blocked. Like you would spend days trying to.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks like it's collapsed on the inside, and then the rain has just turned into slurry, and it's probably quite. Yeah, it's fucked.
All right.
Well, all right. I'm gonna take off my silver crucifix, and I'm gonna go near the edge of the hole, and I'm gonna put it out to see if there's anything near that hole. It's gonna see my silver crucifix first, and monsters hate silver crucifixes.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
no, a couple of earthworms and centipedes look at it and are like, I don't know what that means, and sort of crawl away. But looking at the entrance of the hole, you see this has been dug. This has been burrowed out. There's like almost handprints of where the earth's been dug away, and there's fingernails that have been sort of lost in the digging that are sort of sticking into the walls and the ceiling. But it's very much it's been something has dug its way out. Is what I'm trying to say.
Now, is it basically like a person-sized tunnel? Are we gonna have to like crawl into this thing like rats, or is it?
It's a bit bigger than that. You could probably It's big enough to fit Merkari for the purposes of the game. It's quite wide, but you're gonna otherwise you sit on the hill for 2 hours.
Actually, we should all be about the same height, or even the Guttermore scum might be even shorter. So like technically, I think we can all just kind of like march in. So
yeah, it's like a low sewer, a very low sewer. You'd be going down bent,
all right,
then double kind of thing.
Yeah, seems legit. I'm just gonna proceed in with my cross out in front of me. And my staff.
Well, I mean, do you have any light sources or anything? Or?
No. I have the light of my faith.
It's
glinting off of my silver crucifix.
I take a moment to light a torch
Oh, I have the furnace on my we have the furnace on my
Right.
my wheelchair, which I assume is always burning somehow for some reason.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Until you roll a 1.
until it conveniently dies at the wrong moment. Yeah. May I light a torch off your furnace so we can see?
I mean, for 1 silver, I think that would be pretty fair.
And Gotven just starts like gathering brush to like build a fire.
I say, Gotven, just pay him.
Yeah.
This just take too long.
All right. I flip him a silver and
Yeah. Is it real silver?
huh?
Is it real silver?
I mean, he has to check. I'm not gonna.
He doesn't check. He doesn't check.
Yeah.
He pockets it immediately.
Yeah.
Another tithing from the peasants.
Yeah. It's a good thing I ran across that lead supply. Anyway, so I light the torch
so you get excellent. He's got Vinod. So one of 2 of my favourite questions as a GM. What's your marching order?
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you are.
Without the torch.
I'll be second, unless
I guess
you.
I'm in the back. Okay.
So I guess
all
the
right.
torch has to go first then, is what you're saying, is what I'm hearing. All right. Gotven's going first.
All right.
Doesn't have to.
Then then's going Merkari, and then's going me. I will bring up the rear with my shining silver cross and my staff.
Okay. Excellent. The other favourite question to ask as a GM is: did any of you actually eat the meal? That's always a good one, just to throw out there.
What eat the
No. Just it's a good line to throw into a game just to put your players on edge.
Yeah. Touche.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Gotven, you step down. So this tunnel is probably about 5 minutes journeying time. It's wet, really wet. This is just literally like a rabbit hole that's been dug out. Insects are sort of dropping in and sort of dropping from the ceiling and then down. It's dank. It smells actually kind of pleasant. It's that smell of damp earth that can be quite a pleasant smell. So for once, it is the smell of dead decay. It's actually not bad down here. And eventually, you come out of the earth tunnel and hit a more structured tunnel, almost as if this has come out. It's dug through something else. You sort of come in at an angle. And it's suddenly giant slabs of stone in a very angular way. It's like a squared off corridor, basically. And you come in through a burst open slab, basically. So it looks like something pulled its way, slabbed pieces, and dug its way out, and you're going the other way in. And you have a look around. You have a look around the torch, and it's kind of like a deep, long corridor. All you can see about 30 foot ahead of you, so you can see a couple of doors, one on the left, one on the right. It carries on, you can tell that, but you can't see much more. There is a real thick layer of like mud and sediment all over in the corners, as if this place got flooded quite recently. It's very new, and as you step in, you see the walls are covered in mosaics, really quite nice mosaics. The material isn't precious, it's just various rocks and stones, but they're skillfully done, very skillful work. And they look like sort of ancient heroes, almost what we would recognize as almost like a Grecian-style warriors in armors, fighting beasts, with swords and shields. This is beautiful stuff. You haven't seen anything like this in Alabaster City or in fact, the main continent. It feels old. It feels old and it feels ancient. And you just hear dripping of water everywhere.
Gotven, you're the kingdom's engineer here. What could have busted through this wall and dug out?
I don't know, but Boggarts are not supposed to be this strong. I mean,
No.
if many of them, but that hole was quite big, so. Well, whatever it is, as long as it's out there, I'm feeling much better about things. But
And this is like human sized. Everything in here is human sized.
Yeah. This is a human bit. It looks like it's been dug into.
Jeez. I don't know. I can't think of anything either. I mean, never saw anything like this on the main continent.
Are we sure this is where the Boggarts are? Did we make a wrong turn?
I mean, this is where we're supposed to be, I thought.
They said it was, in the moors, with the standing stones. How many standing stones could there be out here?
Good question.
Yeah, these are all you've seen. Yeah.
All right.
These are all you've seen.
You said on the
just to
go ahead. No.
I was going to say, just as for purposes of player and more mechanical, you can see about 30 feet ahead of you on the right wall. Actually, let's use compass. So on the east wall, about 10 foot away, there's a door, and then on the west wall, about 20 foot away, there's a door on the left. So door quite close on the east, bit further on the west, and then darkness ahead of you.
Oh, geez.
Are we looking north? I'm drawing a map.
Yeah. Look north, and
north.
then that'll make it easier for me. Yeah,
cool.
So, is there like a slope to the floor at all? Because we have to kind of presume that there was a when they covered it at the top, they were covering a exit, right? So one of these doors, it would be likely was to the exit, right? So
makes sense.
Is there a little slope or anything?
No, this seems straight on. Very, very technically astute. Very, very well done. Level floors.
What do you guys think?
We should probably look around.
Just go forward. Yeah, go forward, and we'll see if we can kill some Boggarts. I mean,
we don't want
nothing else. If we kill like 5 of them, bring their heads back, and we'll just say we'll just tell them we cleared them out. Let's say we cleared out the nest.
Do we don't want to look behind any of the doors though? Is that how I'm hearing?
Oh, I mean, you've got it. I mean, there could be
Boggarts back there.
Could be Boggarts.
All right.
Could be treasure. I mean, look at these mosaics here. I've only heard of these things in my old kingdom. Of course, we had stuff even more impressive than these mosaics, but these are very nice. And there could be wealth.
The only places you would have seen anything like this would have been in the necropolises around the church. Is basically like this is rich shit. Not as I say, the material isn't worth, but it's good decoration.
So okay, we have east, west, and forward. What do you guys think?
East is closest, so we should go east first.
I can't fault that logic. Let's go.
All right, cool.
I go up to the door.
I roll up.
Yeah. What? So I put my ear against the door. What do I hear?
Okay, so maybe a presence check, please. The best stat in the game.
Yeah, it really is. Hey, I got a 14, and I reduce difficulties by 2. So I really see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the door is like a wooden thing, like classic wooden slats, wooden planks, and then with metal bracing. And put your ear to it, and you hear voices. You hear 2 voices behind the door. You can't quite work out what they're saying, but it's like 2 people having a conversation.
Does it sound like human voices, or does it sound like weird monster voices?
No, it sounds not monster, but you just don't recognize it. It's not a human language that you heard. It could be a different human language, but it's a language you do not know.
Are the hinges for the door on the inside, or are they on this side or that side?
They're on this side, so you'd have to pull it open to go in.
So we could just jam the door. We could spike the door, and they wouldn't be able to get out.
Unless there was another way around, but yes.
Right. So I'm kind of like, hey, there's somebody in there. I don't think it's a person. I think it's something weird.
Does it sound like Boggarts? Are they saying Boggart stuff?
I don't even know what a boggart sounds like.
I don't know either. Gotven, you know what Boggart sounds
No,
like?
I don't know what gut boggart sounds like.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
They really picked the wrong people to do this mission.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's typical of these things.
You're not wrong.
Are the doors across from each other, or are they offset?
Just offset a little bit. It's
little
like
bit.
it's one on the east is about 10 foot away, and the one on the west about 20 foot away. So just a little bit offset.
Well, you want to check the other door, or do you want to not leave? This
Yeah, I think we
behind?
should check the other door first.
Oh, hey, so if we're gonna take these dudes out, we just do it now. Or if we're gonna block it up, we just do that now, and just not worry about it.
Well, I mean, I have this big plan to block up the door, but I also don't have anything to do it with. So let's just bust in. Let's just romper stomp. All right, I'm opening the door. I open the door.
Cool. You don't need to roll it. I know you're excited for the dice, but you don't need to. You pull the door open, and in front of you is a room, nice and square room, 20 foot by 20 foot. And the first thing you notice are two boggart creatures who, as I say, I picture the goblins from The Hobbit, I think is the quickest way of sort of getting an image of them. And one of them's got a broom, and it's sort of like brushing, and the other one has got its head on the north wall. There's like giant holes which remind you of a baker's kiln, but they are full of mud. And he's sort of like got his head in, and he's obviously like pulling out the slurry. And they were shouting at each other, like, and then as the door opens, they sort of both of them turn to look at you.
Fucking kill them.
If you want to go for it, go for it. We'll go straight to combat, and I will say that you have the surprise on this.
We're just gonna fucking murder them.
Before you do that, the other things
I guess that's why we're here.
Yeah, 100%. The other things you notice in the room are a pile of like very damp clothes in that kind of, you know, when your girlfriend or your partner comes home and then they just sort of take all their clothes in one go and they become a little puddle of clothes in the corner. It's like that puddle of clothes is there and it's damp, but on top of it is a kind of cool, the Victorian Viking helmet, the horns coming out the side, but this massive helm that actually would cover the whole head, with a helm with Viking horns coming out the side, and it's on top of this puddle of clothes. And there's a big box behind one of the boggarts full of now mud, but it looks like there's something in it underneath all the mud. But the first thing you want to do is fuck these guys up. So you freaking go first. You have the surprise. What you gonna do?
Oh, Eldar was by the door, so Brendan, you go first.
Oh, yeah, I gotta go first, huh?
I goad you with my hammer. Fuck him up.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay. I just walk in and I just like bop the one with the broom on the head with my staff. And it's like bow, like right on top of his head, like I'm trying to take out a rat, and like real quick.
So the little fuckers are pretty agile. So you're looking at 14.
I miss.
Yeah, so as you bring your staff down, it like whips its broom up and in some fucking Robin Hood Merry Men style, like catches you quarterstaff style, so it blocks your attack with its little broom.
Of course it fucking does.
So you two here are, and it's Gotven and Merkari to go.
Merkari was right there, right behind Eldar, so he's just gonna roll in, gets a couple of good rolls with the wheelchair wheels, and just tries to smack one. I guess probably the one that was in the kind of baker's kettle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just try to just smack him in the back while he's hanging in there.
Do it.
I think I miss and I might hit the kettle.
What did you roll?
I got a 7, an 8 with my strength.
Sure. Yeah. As you sort of bring so I assume you're going in with the warhammer like sideways.
Yeah.
He dunks away, and it gets caught in the mud that's pouring out of these kilns. Yeah. So you got a muddy hammer now. You guys are good at this. Gotven.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway. All right. 19.
Nice. Look at that. Yeah. So tell me what happens. Which one are you going for? And what do you do?
I'm going for the one with the mop because he seems like he's more mobile, and after he disposed with this merry men thing that they're doing where they're on a log in a river.
You can have advantage on that because it's effectively a multi-man combat. So if you want to roll another one, just in case you get 20.
Oh, that's true.
That's how I do multi-man combat. Basically, you get advantage if you have.
No, that's not 20. So.
Yeah. Cool. Roll for it.
It takes 3 points of damage.
Sword. 3 points of damage minus its sort of thick skin. It takes 2 points of damage. Yeah, they've got quite ropey, horrible skin. So yeah, you flash at it, and you said 3, didn't you? 3 points.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you sliced at it, and it screams in pain, sort of swinging its mop around like one-handed to try and ward you both off. So I'm going to need you both to make a defense roll against these guys. However, you do have advantage because it's trying to attack 2 of you at once, effectively.
Who makes the rolls?
It will be Eldar and Gotven.
Yes. I got a 16.
You have advantage.
I got a.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got 14.
Yeah, both of you. It sort of makes you back off a little bit, swinging its mop around, but absolutely no damage, no connection. Merkari, you're going to make a defense roll that as your hammer swings wild, this one turns at you and sort of has got a jagged bit of bone in its hand, and it was obviously digging the mud out with, and it comes sort of trying to get your eyes with it. So could you make a defense roll check, please? 12.
Oof. Got a 19. Doing pretty good.
Nice. Yeah. Your hammer comes free just at the last minute, and you sort of deflect the blow away from you.
Ooh.
Okay, back to you, Frito. There's a one-on-one combat at the back, and then 2 of you trying to beat a man with a mop.
Yeah, nice. Is it our turn?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, yeah, go for it.
I beat him up. Yeah, I hit him this time.
Nice.
I do not. I'm distracting him while you do.
2 points of damage.
Did you roll with advantage, by the way?
I did.
Yeah.
And still missed.
2 points of damage, which is a point of damage. Yes, it gets just through his skin. So a big welt on this thing. Merkari, you are in a one-on-one duel.
Yeah, strike back. See what I can do here. I got a 20. That was not a natural roll. That was with my extra strength bonus.
Okay, so straight up damage.
Yeah. This is a D6 with a warhammer. Let's see if I can smack his arm off. I got a 5.
5, nice. They've got a little bit of skin, so that takes only 1 off. So 4. Yeah, you basically. Sorry, I was about to use a proper British colloquialism there. Lamp him. You sort of put the hammer into his chest and like take him off his feet, and it scatters backwards, like guts in. But you've made a mess. You've made a mess in there. So I think he's going to have to take a morale check because there is morale in this game. Oh no, half the group is not eliminated on a lone enemy. It's not a lone enemy. So no, he's okay for the moment, but he's like, shit, this isn't good. So the one screaming at Eldar and Gotven make defense checks, but with advantage because it's kind of just literally swinging a broom to try and keep you away.
Oh, I pass with a 19.
I got a 20, so I can't remember if defense rolls.
Oh, you get a natural 20. You get a free attack.
Oh, sweet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That would be a 12. Are they normal?
Yeah, that's a hit. They're normal on they're buggers to hit, but easy.
5 points of damage.
No, it's not. It's
14.
Sorry, it's a 14 to hit, but
All
12 to avoid. Yeah,
right.
they're little slip.
Yes.
Bastards.
All right.
Did you roll advantage on that one as well?
I did. I just got a 12.
Cool. Okay. Right, cool. So it is now back to you. So there's one pretty badly wounded one, and this one that's You've hit him a couple of times, but he's holding his own against you.
All right.
Who's going?
I see how it is. So let's finish this.
Yeah.
Let's finish
Kill
this
it.
little boggart. All right. I got a 16 and a 14. So these are strength, right?
hit
So really,
either
I
way.
got a 15 and a 13.
So one hit. So you got a hit. Yeah. Roll damage.
Oh yeah, 3 points. Deal with my staff.
3 points of damage. No, it's not quite enough. You get a crack around the head and go like, and it's blinded. You put your staff straight into its eye, and its eye kind of like explodes. Kind of
Nice. Gross.
So
Man.
not happy. It's not.
And I hit with a 19 for 4 points of damage. So.
Yeah. I can't even bother rolling its armor. Well, how do you kill it? Tell me how you kill it.
Yeah, like it's like staggered back from this poke in the eye, and I take my sword, come down, break through the mop, and just embed it in his forehead as I slice through.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, and it just it's in half like an egg and goes down. Merkari.
Merkari raises his hammer high to strike down the head of this Boggart and misses.
Nice. So the Boggart will make a morale check because this is now a lone enemy with only has a third of its hit. It's got less than a third of its hit points left. Yeah. So I'm going to roll a dice. Let's see what happens to this little dude. He's mad. Roll over the creatures. Yeah, no, he's pissed. You just killed his friend. He charges at you screaming. Merkari, so make a defense check, please. So 12.
No, he gets me.
No.
He gets me. Little bone shivs coming up my face.
Jesus Christ.
Gets you for 2 hit points minus your armor.
Okay. Actually, I think I have pretty good armor. Hold on a second.
Yeah. I find my only thing with Borg is I find there's a lot of attacks that just don't do anything because everyone's armored. It kind of just there's a lot of deflecting.
I feel like that's yeah.
So it says minus D4 damage tier 2
right.
on the character sheet.
So you've taken 2 hits. So unless you roll a 1,
I got a 4. So
yeah,
I think
it's
that's 0
deflect.
damage.
Whatever. Make deal with me.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to house rule that a hit will always do 1 damage, just to reward a hit.
Good.
Not for this game, but I'm quite tempted to do that in future games. Just
No,
house rule that.
I'm fine with that. Want to do that? I want to do that.
And so many times you're like, I hit you. Yeah.
I'm taking the damage. I'm doing it. No, I'm doing it. I'm taking it.
Okay.
Too late.
Okay. Yeah, because you got to be rewarded for actually hitting. Right, back to you 3. This thing is now on top of the throne, like stabbing down.
I attack.
Go for it. With advantage, again, because you outnumbered.
I hit with a -1 strength on a 14.
That's a hit.
Yep. And then
a
that's
palpable hit.
2 points.
Nice. And let me roll its little shitty skin. Yeah, so another hit point. It is fucked. This thing is bleeding out. It's dying. This is its dying breath, but it's still kicking and going. So you've got another chance to get it. Or it
All right.
goes.
I hit it with a 19. And
Nice.
It takes 4 points of damage.
Yeah, and once again, Gotven gets the XP kill. Gets in there. Takes the
Kill stealer.
And
Nice.
Puts it out of its misery.
Gotven,
Good job.
You saved me.
That's nasty buggers.
I'll remember this. When my kingdom is restored, you'll be honored.
Of course.
With a low tax position. You only be taxed like 45%, not 90.
Thank you, my liege. He says with the amount of the true amount of sarcasm he can really muster at this point, as he wipes his sword off on the Boggart's not wearing clothes. It's like wearing like a loincloth, right?
They've got a very shitty loincloth, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's like, just kind of flicking the blood away. And there's a pile of clothes. That's right. I go over to the pile of clothes and I pick up.
Yeah, let's all go check that out.
I pick up the helmet.
The pile of clothes is more interesting than the mud bucket. So I'm gonna go through the pile of clothes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so
the pile of clothes.
Please go ahead with the clothes, but I'll do something after that.
Okay, cool. So yeah, there's this helmet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice helm, good craftsmanship. Very strange because if you actually put it on, you can't see. It's almost like a Jedi training helmet kind of thing. But
I would never put it
wood.
on. Yeah.
Sure. Solid
Does it
good
seem
wood.
blocked?
No, it looks like how it's made. It's almost like a beehive dome that you would put on your head, and it's got Viking horns coming out of it.
But it doesn't have a slit or eye holes at all. It's just like it's almost like a pan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that's stupid.
Yeah, like
I'm like, that's stupid.
really
It's probably worthless, and I just kick it over.
Right. I pick it up and I kind of like.
Yeah.
I look on it. I mean, I can't read, but that's
no, sure.
But like, is there any runes or something on it, or any kind? I like take a closer look.
Sure. So in the back of the helm, there's scratched what looks like a name. So even though you can't read, you can decipher names and shit.
Sure.
You know, you bought a bar, like you've got to be able to. And there's the name Traegar sort of etched into the back, which is Tregar. And this is the kind of thing that would look cool hanging over your bar,
right?
You know, and then you call your bar the Horned Helmet, and
or at least it's a cool. I put it on and just say the word Traegar. Just as Traegar.
Okay. You hear a voice, like this very weird, very upper class voice, a posh, almost like a noble's voice. Just say warning. And you can see out of this helmet. This helmet's fine. You're wearing a helmet, but you can see out of the helmet. Like, you can literally see the room. It's fine. And to you two, this helmet hasn't changed, but you are wearing a solid covered helmet, but you can see around.
Oh, that worked. Huh.
Yeah, got a cool helmet.
Do I feel like weird energies like flowing over me, or like, is it just...
It doesn't feel right because you know, by the nature of this thing, this shouldn't work, but it does.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then if you want to loot the rest of the clothes, let's roll randomly on a table and see what you get.
Hooray! Random loot. Actually,
random loot.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Random loot is
two rolls.
15 and 94 or 49. Sorry.
Okay, that's actually amazing. You find 5 very colourful little marbles, pretty little things. They look nice, different colours. And then you also find a linen sack that was sort of at the bottom of all the clothes that's filled with arm bones and hand bones that have all sort of separated from their sinews. So it's a collection of bones is what I'm saying. A sack of bones is what you find.
Collection of bones.
Nice. Collection of bones, yeah. But yeah, marble and a helmet.
So meanwhile, Merkari is looking around at the vats of mud that we have, and also the bone that the Boggarts were doing stuff with. Are those human bones there?
Yeah. They look either human. There's a mix of human and animal bone, and the bone that he was stabbing you with actually has a burnt end to it. And you see, you're looking in the kilns, the kiln itself. Because if you you sort of pull the mud away, and you find at the there's like a load of mud, and then there's more of these bones all piled there, all which have all been obviously been burned in the past, and then the kiln filled with mud.
What kind of bones are they?
Human and animal, say. That's what you'd guess at.
Yeah, these are vile beasts. It's a good thing we were sent here to
Are they
rid
like
the rat marches of them.
Making bricks or something out of bones? Like, what are they making?
This whole room, like the corridor, this whole room has a sort of sheen of mud everywhere, basically. Where you look in this place, it's like mud powder in the corners. And
But if it's a
built up
kiln, then they haven't fired it yet, right? It's fucking weird.
It's very odd.
But it's not like
very
shaped
odd.
like anything. There's just piles.
It's literally like a hole, like a brick kiln hole. You know, like where you put a fucking
Right.
pizza kind of thing. It's like that entranceway, and there, but it's filled with mud now, and there's bones deeper into it.
Maybe they eat bones and mud. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? It stands to reason.
Classic
All
British
right.
dish.
Let's look at that other room. Let's check out
let's
that
do
other
it.
room. So I
Cool.
cautiously
Okay, let's
emerged
just
into
step
the
back.
main room because we have just been killing and murdering, so that might have been noisy. Knowing
Absolutely.
a little
There's no
bit
one
about
in.
killing and murdering, I sneak across to the other side where the other room is.
Cool. As you sneak, you're like ready to do the sneaky sneak, and you put your foot down, and there's quite like a puddle, like of water, and then looking back, you can see a small trickle of water is coming down the tunnel that you came down. Very small, and it's starting to pool up in the corridor.
Well, that's
But don't worry about
weird.
it. Yeah, like almost like rain above is now coming down, kind of thing.
That's an awful lot of rain, though. I mean, it wasn't raining like that when we were up there, right?
No, but this is a lot. Something's changed out there.
Should we check it out?
Right?
Or do
You
we
gonna
just-
sneak over?
Yeah, I think we should look.
Yeah,
That seems.
that seems
There's one
slightly
thing I've
important.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
Always
let's-
check
yeah.
water. You always just check.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
fine.
So as you turn to head back up the tunnel,